Here's a lovely DM I got saying, cis people shut the up challenge. Okay, then I'll just keep talking. Great. Why are you even talking about this? Are you trans? Do you understand what they go through? You have no right to talk about this matter you clearly don't understand. Oh, hi. Welcome back to my underground bunker. Channel. So needless to say, you guys, there is a lot of stuff going on in the world. Life as we know it this week is completely different than life as we knew it a week ago. There's a lot of darkness in the world, and it's difficult to know as a YouTuber what to come on here and talk about, like, that's appropriate, because I don't want to be like lackadaisical about what's going on in the world, and I don't want to, it's weird for everyone, okay? But today's video, I want to be lighthearted. If you're cooped up at home, I hope you can crack a smile in this video. Just breathe. Hang out with me for 10 minutes because we're reacting to a very specific, very strange phenomenon that happens probably just to me every single time I talk about trans issues online, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Anytime I talk about trans topics, you know, like, a lot of my opinions are not the most popular in the world amongst the trans community. I stand out a little bit, and it's not what you're used to hearing from a trans person sometimes. And so because of that, every single time I talk about these things, I get just a barrage of people assuming that I am a biological woman who's just super invested in trans topics and just won't stop talking about it, and they hate on me for it really hard, and they get very angry. And we're gonna react to those comments today because they're effing hilarious. We gotta laugh or cry right now, folks. Make your choice. So this happened after I made my naked tutorials video, and this lovely individual says, why are you even talking about this? I can't believe you decided to make a video about this woman who was forced to come out. Are you trans? Do you understand what they go through? No, you do not. You have no right to talk about this matter you clearly don't understand. If you think this is an isolated incident, I have screenshots on screenshots on screenshots. No, I would have no idea what it's like to go through life being trans. Like, I just can't relate. What do I know, right? How about we, cis people, don't question what trans people do and mind our own goddamn business. Who's we? It's funnier if we don't tell him, right? Now, this happens so often to me that there is this girl named Stephanie on Twitter who said, I love that Blaire White's transition was so good that people on the internet try to call her out for having an opinion on trans issues and not being trans. To which I tweeted and I said, I love being a biological woman. I've never felt like one, but suddenly I do when these people come at me like this. I mean, it's hilarious and sad to me at the same time that so many people have such a rigid idea of what you can and can't believe as a trans person, and just have this like idea of what is and isn't supposed to come out of our mouths, that the moment they hear a trans person or any person who steps away from that narrative, the one set of opinions that trans people are allowed to have, suddenly in their minds, there's just no possible way that the person they're coming at could possibly be trans. And the irony is that these people think they're sticking up to me, the big, bad, biological female bully, and they're sticking up for the poor, innocent trans people, but they're actually attacking a trans person. Try to put yourself in a trans person's shoes. When is the right time to tell your partner? They have to look out for their own safety, and considering trans people get every day for being who they are. They need to establish a certain level of trust first. Okay, random basic named Emily telling me this as if I don't know this, as if I haven't gone through that personally. Like, I can't. And this is aside from the idea that it's suddenly a radical idea to not hide that you're trans from your partner. Like, I can't. This girl thought she was very clever, saying, I love how Nikki, who's trans, looks like a diamond, and Blaire's over here looking like a sick lizard. So she's like trying to insult my looks by trying to say that the trans woman looks better than the biological woman, which is a very common insult people like to do when they're sticking up for trans people, which I don't personally like. But we're both trans. Just the dumbest. Why are you even talking about this? I can't believe you decided to make a video about this woman who was forced to come out. Are you trans? Yes. Do you understand what they go through? Yes. No, you do not. Okay. You have no right to talk about this matter you clearly don't understand. And then we're getting into the territory of like people who think that you can't have an opinion on trans issues if you're not trans.
It's me, your friendly neighborhood trans guy, to remind all cis people that you need to stay the fuck out of conversations about trans topics. You don't know what the you're talking about. Your opinion is not needed and not wanted. Thank you.
And that to me is just illogical, because I feel like as long as trans issues dominate the headlines in the way that they do, aside from what's happening right now, obviously, then everyone gets an opinion. And especially if you're asking something of someone, like I mentioned this in a video I did on my second channel recently, as long as we're asking people for acceptance or asking them for certain rights or whatever, and it's a two-way conversation, then who are you to say, give me all these things, respect me, but you don't have a right to say anything about the topic? Like, make it make sense. If you're trans, you don't have the right to share an opinion like this, for which I actually quote tweeted them and said, "I'm trans, idiot." And then they always instantly delete their tweet once they are embarrassed, they get called out. And then they message me like this girl who says, "I didn't know you were trans. I'm so sorry. I feel fucking bad. I really do feel bad. I'm sorry." Girl, you should feel sorry for attacking someone for their opinions, regardless if I'm trans or not. I mean, my opinions, which of course, because it's me, I feel like they do reflect reality, like biologically segregating sports so that no one has an unfair playing field, like not letting preteens make permanent changes to their bodies, like how it's not transphobic to not want to date trans people. Those are all very rational opinions to have, and they're not okay to hold only because I'm trans. Like, non-trans people can hold those opinions and they don't deserve to be attacked for it, and they're not wrong because they're not trans. Like, are you stupid? Here's a lovely DM I got saying, "Cis people shut the up challenge." Okay, then I'll just keep talking. Great. Listen, why do you care what transgendered people do with their lives? You seem obsessed. First of all, can we address your grammar? Because I'm just in that kind of mood right now. Transgendered is not a word. Transgender is an adjective, it's not a noun. You cannot be transgendered, okay? You can be transgender and you can transition, but there is no such thing as being transgendered. I can't. And then of course, why do you care? Because I'm trans. Okay, I'm gonna rant. There is something so insulting, like on such a deeper level than just, you know, the typical like people who don't like trans people. There's something so much more insulting about people who claim to fight for trans people, but think so low of us that they assume that we all have one train of thought, one system of beliefs, and one opinion we can hold, and that's it. People that are so invested in these caricatures of who and what trans people are that they expect only one thing to come out of their mouth. In case you didn't know, trans people come from all different walks of life, all different political beliefs, all different spectrums of belief. And that goes for any group of people, not just trans people. We're talking gay people, people of any race, people of any like ethnicity. And I also have to say, it's very frustrating that people act as if my set of opinions or the thoughts that I have on trans issues are just so radical and so crazy and so extreme. They're actually not. Most people actually hold them. The difference is the mentality that these people have of attacking anyone who expresses them. It actually bullies LGBT people and trans people into not saying how they really feel, thus further perpetuating the stereotype that we all believe these radical things. In fact, here in LA, a lot of the very famous and the very like social media famous influencer type LGBT people that come up to me and agree with every single thing I say, but you know they can never say it because they'll lose their career and lose all their friends. It's a lot of them. So it's frustrating because you have all these people who are afraid to say how they really feel because they'll get attacked and they'll lose their career and their friends, which further perpetuates the false idea that those of us who are stating our opinions are just so radical and so at odds with the whole community. So it's like this never-ending cycle. And it's also frustrating because it's never trans people doing these, "You're not trans, so you can't speak on it," which first of all is because I feel like trans recognize trans, you know what I mean? Like we all know who's trans and who's not, no matter what you look like, we all know. But it's always these white knight non-trans people who think that they're saving the poor little victim trans people. Oh my God. And they're just the only hope they have left, you know what I mean? And they're gonna fight for trans people. All right, you guys, and with that, I have one last really important thing I wanna leave you with, my summer tour. Needless to say, if you follow me on Instagram, I already announced it. If you follow my second channel, I already announced it, but I wanted to do it on here too. My summer tour now, I hope you can consider a fall tour. God willing, all this stuff happening in the world is over by the end of summer. Obviously, large gatherings cannot happen right now, which means my tour is put on the back burner, which is so sad because I was working so hard to make it such an amazing experience for you guys, but it's not canceled, it's postponed. So please don't let any excitement that you had for it dwindle. Just think of it as happening a little later once everything just settles down and we can all return back to normal. But I love you guys. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I know you're gonna watch 4 or 5 more videos. I know you watched 4 or 5 in the past. You might as well just subscribe now, join the family. I don't have friends. I need subscribers. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and now TikTok, which is new. All those will be on the screen right here. And I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.